let's do a collective reading. As usual, we're just going to go through how you're seeing your world so that you can make sure this reading is really for you. And then we'll just see what messages need to come out from there. So let's see how you're seeing your world real quick. Okay. Hold on, I'm being told to shuffle. Oh, did you see that? Maybe your energy is not wanting to mix things up right now. Not wanting to change. People struggle with change. It's a totally common thing, but not wanting to rock the boat is what I just heard. So let's just see, because we're going to rock it a little bit by looking into what's going on with you, right? But let's just see, source. What is this collective going through and how are they seeing their world right now? What's this collective seeing their world right now? Moon. So not laughing at you, but that's like the ultimate card of the veil of deception, not seeing things clearly. And it's hard because we don't always know when we're in moon energy. Like if you've ever been out on a full moon, especially if there's not a lot of other ambient light around, right? Like light pollution, like that shit can be bright as hell sometimes, especially like a harvest moon. You can think you're seeing things clearly, but it pales in comparison to the light of day, right? That's kind of the energy of the moon. It also is a card about anxiety and like anxiousness and not trusting your gut intuitions. But then King of Coins, let's get one more. Chariot. This is how you're seeing your world. What came out first? Three of Swords in reverse. That's not bad. But the Moon. So you got three really great cards. Why do I feel like you're just not seeing something right? We'll break it down, right? And I'm not laughing at you. But there's always a reason why I'm being called to do a reading for a collective or a specific person, or people reach out to me. It's because something needs to shift in perception and answers need to be given, right? The channel for the message. But how you're seeing your world right now, some sort of renewal, reconciliation, moving on from the past. Three of Swords in reverse. I have personally, dedicated this card to be a card that signifies the reconciliation or forgiveness when it comes to a romantic relationship specifically. So, if that's how you're seeing your world, you're clearly in some sort of like gotten back together with someone and or forgiven someone for something when it comes to your heart space. So let's just one more for that. Knight of Swords in reverse. Hold on, let's get your emotion, because that's a missed opportunity. So you're either wanting to rectify the missed opportunity or you feel like you've missed out on the opportunity to rectify a situation. Make sense? And I think your emotion will give me a pretty clear indication of what silence. We'll just see. So what this collective's baseline emotion is right now. What is this collective's emotion right now? Overwhelmed, anxious. Oh, my angel. What's this one? Controlled. That's yucky. I don't like this card. I don't like the controlled card. I'm a Capricorn. The idea of someone controlling me is literally my personal own fucking living hell. So I hate this for you. Like, I'd rather skin myself alive than ever be controlled. And for me to have that visceral overreaction, I don't always say that when this card comes out, you must be the same. You must be the same. Like, feel chained to circumstance and chained to ideology, chained to other people's decision making. And maybe I went into that bit because I want you to know that I empathize with you, and this is not coming from a place of judgment, but we allow what controls us in our life. In very rare circumstances where we are genuinely out of the ability to control things. If we let other people and situations control our life, it's because we're people pleasing and not standing up for ourselves and not, you know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. But it says dictated to, wanting power over me, dominating, demanding, restricting, telling me what I can and cannot do. But it feels external, right? So this control feels external. Remember, this is all to clarify the right collectives, that it's actually your message so that we can start to get the nitty gritties. So you're wanting, there's some sort of missed opportunity that you're focusing on right now because it's your first row. And the missed opportunity, I believe, is some sort of reconciliation, moving on from the past, some sort of forgiveness, but you feel controlled like you can't do it. You feel controlled like you're being stopped from being able to do that. So other people's opinions, other romantic situations that you're in are stopping you from some sort of reconciliation energy, right? And it's making you feel overwhelmed, and it would. Um, Emotional pressure, stressed, burdened, suddenly hit hard. Maybe this came out of nowhere for you. Um, Especially right, like if you're looking at the past whatever as some sort of missed opportunity that you could have reconciled, and now you're in a situation that wouldn't quote unquote, in your opinion, allow you to reconcile that situation. um it would make sense if all of a sudden this came out of nowhere, because otherwise why wouldn't you just move towards whatever would fix this, right? Like, a missed opportunity is like missed, like the opportunity is gone, according to this card. But it's a lot to take on, and you're feeling unable to cope with this, anxious, fearful, on edge, overthinking, nervous, worried, imagining the worst. I do think for the right collective, you are in that place actually, where you're just your brain is a little bit, like, CPU is a little overheated, right? Like the fans are going, but like the numbers not coming down, and there's just like task after task after task like piling up, right? Like, I was seeing the little like task manager. I don't know. I don't use Mac ever. Like, I've never used Apple products. That doesn't make me better than anybody. It's just like not the kind of electronics I grew up with or have ever bought. But I'm just saying, like, I'm seeing like the actual task manager window in my mind, and it's just like, how when you open that, if your computer's like really struggling, you'll just see like task after task like populating in the list. That's what I was seeing. But anyways, that feeling is overwhelmed. That feeling is like not being able to plug the dam as things are starting to leak. And if some sort of missed opportunity that you wish you could have fixed in the past has suddenly just hit you hard emotionally, that is what it would feel like. Because, again, not no place of judgment here, I'm just saying from experience, it's because you've been repressing this for a while. And what we repress just becomes this insane monster that eventually will swallow us whole. Like, you can't suppress something and it just literally disappear. That's just not how it works, right? I think this collective, you're realizing that, unfortunately, right now. So I'm gonna leave these three out so I can just keep reminding myself of like where you are emotionally, so I can, because I don't want you to, I want to choose my words wisely so that we don't overwhelm you even more, because then you're not going to be able to understand the message. But what's this moon? What were you not seeing clearly or veiled in illusion with? Something that has been Nine of Swords in reverse. Talk about anxious and overwhelmed. So Nine of Swords can be like, this author I know specifically actually sees Nine of Swords as like getting out of emotional anguish. But I'm not gonna lie, as soon as it came out, I was seeing another one of my cards in here that has the keywords, and it's like the true emotional anguish, the sleepless nights, the insomnia, the trouble eating, the not being able to keep up with your daily responsibilities. It's just like really getting dog piled on by stress and grief and anxiety. Like, for that to be under the moon, I think it really just confirms what I was saying, where it's like maybe you've been repressing something for a long time and you didn't realize that it was going to ever come back up, and now it's like, Let's get one more for that. Six of Swords, better times ahead. That's not bad, but I think it is a little bit how you're trying to soothe yourself, right? Like, I think in this, it's still a little bit veiled as to the core issue, and you're trying to tell yourself, like, this can't last forever. I just need to feel this for a little bit, and then, like, I'll go back to feeling fine. But isn't that, my friend, just you trying to suppress it, right? We need to get to the bottom of it so that it stops coming back to life and that you can actually process it and deal with it. Because, again, it's the only way it's going to change. You could suppress this now. I hate to see you in 6 months, because that overwhelm is going to turn into total fucking burnout. And that anxiety is going to turn into paranoia, right? That control is going to turn into anger. We want to stop things before they get to that place. So this king of coins, that's nice. He's my favorite king. King and queen of coins, those are my favorites, because they are ride or dies, loyal to the core. They are hardworking, but they're also compassionate. They're a beautiful combination of heart and mind. That's what all the coins are. And I'm not just saying that because I am an earth sign, but coins, he's also the most persistent and stubborn, and he's the most prosperous, but it comes from a place of true self-worth, of understanding his worth, where his time and energy is valued, and not engaging in things that do not value his time and energy. So again, how you're seeing your world, that's not bad. One more for king of coins. But what's going on here, oof, 3 of cups in reverse. And again, 3 and 3. So you might be seeing 333 a lot. But I have personally assigned 3 of cups to being a card of infidelity, cheating when it comes to a romantic relationship. So, like, I don't know. I don't think you've done that. King of coins wouldn't. And by the way, like, we all make mistakes, but that's not one king of coins upright makes. It's like the antithesis of his energy. Like, cheating, king of coins would never. And for that to come to my mind, I don't think you would either. Which means this is external energy. So even in the face of you being this beautiful king, something has happened that has betrayed your trust, that you've worked really, really hard for, that you've dedicated a lot of time and energy towards. So it would make sense with this controlled. Telling me what I can and can't do. God, that would be such a slap in the face. If someone you're connected to is trying to control you while therein they don't respect boundaries themselves, right? Like, that's fucked. And there's no simple way to put it. Like, clearly that person who, if they're treating you that way, they have fucking trauma, but that's not your deal. That's not your thing to fix. That's something they need to become self-aware of while we get you out of this. This card, though, I'm also being called to say, is a card of doing things alone when it's in reverse. So I think whoever you are, whatever type of person you have become, you have done it in the face of not having all of the support you need or want. And that's really hard, because that can make you bitter and resentful without you even knowing it. I want one more for this 3 of cups. I really don't like that being here. Judgment. We'll get into that in a second. Chariot. What's on the chariot for you? Or what you think is on the chariot for you? Hanged man in reverse. Boy, what are polar opposite energies. Chariot. Once that chariot gets going, it doesn't stop. That's destiny. That's yin and yang. That's, forces of the universe. It's drive, it's action, it's forward momentum, with a card of literally things being stuck. I hate hangman in reverse. It's just like the most stuck that anything could possibly fucking be. It's drowning in that mud. It's that quicksand. Sorry, it just always reminds me of that scene in Neverending Story with the horse. That's the energy of hangman in reverse. So this is how you're seeing your world. It's incredible. I've spent 15 minutes on it, but this is really intense. So I think it's important. But this judgment that's over whatever that third party energy and or cheating and or betrayal and or doing things alone, there's judgment. So that's, and it's upright. That's this new spiritual story, but that's heeding the call, having some sort of awakening. Maybe this situation really was something that triggered an awakening in you, and you're starting to finally see the red flags. But the way it's overwhelming you, and by the way, ascensions and new spiritual story, like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like, you're not living in this beautiful pink sparkly bubble once you have judgment energy over you. It's like the fire and wrath of whatever God you believe in. Like, they're not fun, right? It makes sense with your emotion if there's judgment here. Purifying light of fire. I want star at the bottom. I want one more for this judgment, because again, it's not going to feel good, but you don't have control over that energy. 10 of so you've got two, and it's funny because when I was talking about how I've personally dedicated or allocated this card, I was actually also seeing this card in my mind. And I thought maybe I'll explain the difference between the two, but I didn't. There's a reason why. I was thinking about it. This, again, dedicated to the reconciliation, forgiveness, or some sort of mend in a romantic relationship specifically. But this one, Ten of Swords in reverse, I see it as any sort of moving on from the past. It's literally getting out of a place of rock bottom, which is Ten of Swords upright. So it's moving on. Only place to go from this card is up. Like, it's really hard, but either way, like, we're gonna have options and we're doing our best. For you to have Judgment and that card together, I'm just gonna say this, and I think I think it might be triggering because I think it might not be how you're seeing things, but just like me, your reader, reading these cards, I think that whatever's going on in your life, source, creator, universe, whatever you believe in, is shining this incredibly bright fucking spotlight on the parts of your life that are not working and the roaches are scattering and you cannot ignore them. And that is what is unsettling your soul, is because you want to turn the lights back off and you want to ignore things a little bit, but you can't. And this Chariot, we'll just have to see where you are in your life path right now. But that Chariot with that Hanged Man tells me like you're wanting forward momentum in things that are fundamentally stuck. But can you accept that they're stuck and shift your focus? Like, do what you want with your life, but it seems like you're connected to someone who makes you feel controlled, who's made you feel like you've missed out on opportunities to rectify situations from your past, who very possibly could have betrayed you and your trust in whatever sort of dynamic you guys have. And that is very fucking clear and aware and present to you. But like, the way that it's affecting you is you just feel controlled, anxious, and overwhelmed. So we got to shift that into action. Like, what are you going to do about it, right? You can't suppress it any longer. Well, I guess you can if you want, but I don't think you should. I'll put that out there. Let's just see. I want to see several things. So you just let me know how this sounds too. I want to see where you are in your contracts. Like where you are in your soul's contract, because your soul knows best for your life, what it signed up to learn. But I also want to know what that missed opportunity was, and I want to know who that Three of Cups is, and I can't decide which one I want to get first. Let's do what that missed opportunity was that you're focusing on, because again, it was your first row, so it's the thing that's like really driving the overwhelm, I think. It's not, I don't think it's a passing thought, but let's get that. And we'll get who that Three of Cups is, or what that Three of Cups is, rather. So, what is, for this collective, what is that missed opportunity with that Three of Swords in reverse? Oh, wow. What is that? Okay, so the first one, I don't even know what came out first. I guess it doesn't matter. But you've got 10 of Wands in reverse. King of Wands, but it came out with a 7 of Swords. 6 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Something that was the foundation of it was long lasting. Pentacles and Tarot is years. Ace of Pentacles, I call it my Midas touch, because once it grounds in your life, every single thing you touch turns to fucking gold. You have the skills, the fortitude, the emotional stability, the support system internally, externally, to make all your dreams a reality. It's literally like handing someone a golden ticket, not in the, like, you know, not in just the monetary way, but just like everything is gold. Like your work is going great. You get offers that you like deserve. What you project out is what you call in. And that is just all gold. Like long lasting, incredibly resilient, made for you is what I keep hearing. So whatever that Three of Swords in reverse missed out. So you missed out on some sort of golden ticket here. And again, I have to stress it's not financial, but it's the thing that ties your whole life together. It literally changes your life. It feels like a miracle. Something that would have, that it was or could have been, because remember, missed opportunity, was or could have been equal give and take, 6 of coins. Harmonious, compatible, lots of reciprocity. Something that could have helped you relieve burdens that already did relieve burdens that made you feel a point of stress relief with 10 of Wands in reverse. But then why the fuck is King of Wands here with 7 of Swords over it? 7 of Swords is a card of betrayal. It's a card of lying, and it can literally be a card of theft and cheating, but the mask, the emotional mask that we all can wear. So something that you were really passionate towards, something that you really ignited your soul. King of Wands, he's my mini magician. He's the entrepreneur. He's the free thinker. He's so full of life. He's so full of life. Fire ruled. So he's all about that spark of life. Everybody wants to be him or be with him. Like, he just is this magnet of desire. He's like my masculine siren, but that was masked. So that would have been the missed opportunity, is you not, because that's clearly you. If you were showing up as King of Pentacles in the other suit, something that really ignited your soul and made you feel full of life, but you masked it for whatever reason. I can't imagine why you would have done that with all these other beautiful cards around it. So, like, why is that 7 of Swords there? Like, the mask is trauma, right? Let's just get one of those. Because you might not even be aware. If it's hit you hard out of nowhere, you could genuinely be telling yourself, why? Why all of a sudden is this overwhelming my soul? So what caused this mask to be here? This 7 of Swords over this King of Wands? Because that's what created the missed opportunity. Imposter syndrome. So you didn't think you were good enough for whatever the situation was. I have a feeling it's a person. Because remember, I have dedicated 3 of Swords in reverse to be reconciliation with a romantic partner. So you didn't think that you were good enough. You actually didn't even know that you were King of Wands, right? You did not even know. You didn't believe, and you don't know, apparently, but it shows up as a feeling of inadequacy or self-doubt, even when achievements say otherwise. So that means that this person would have told you that you were all those beautiful things that King of Wands is, but you wouldn't have believed them. They manifest as a fear of being found out. So it's like I'm hearing, maybe you were afraid if this person saw, I'm seeing that card that's like, will you accept me for who I really am? I can't imagine this person doesn't know, that person didn't know who you are. Well, I guess you would know, but the thing about imposter syndrome, guys, is like, you're the only person that can change it, right? Like, somebody else telling you that you're great doesn't make you feel great. And I say it all the time. Like, what we think is what we see. So if you do not believe that you are great, it doesn't matter what you, like Ace of Pentacles, people are lucky if they get close to touching one of these in their life. It's a very rare thing because, again, it takes years and years and years to ground. It's not something that you can make happen in a weekend or a couple of months. Years of dedication, years of fortitude, years of effort, like years of working towards a goal and never ever wavering. That in itself is an achievement. But if you don't see it as one, what does it matter what I say? And then this abuse wound shows up as intense reactions to situations that echo past emotional, physical, or verbal abuse, often creates deep mistrust and fear of being hurt again. So you had an incredibly difficult either childhood or young life, and you have not addressed how neglectful and abusive and harmful and traumatic it is, or was. And that is why you feel like you don't deserve more. And you didn't believe that you were this King of Wands. And that's why it's hitting you out of fucking nowhere. It's probably also, too, I'm hearing this, and this is really sad. Whoever's controlling you and making you feel controlled, this is also echoing this wound. That's why you hate the feeling of being controlled. I mean, I think most people should, but there are some people who are genuinely okay with the idea of never having to make decisions on their own and you know, doing what other people think, like have like I think it's probably rare that people don't want to have autonomy, but like anything that can happen will happen. But I think maybe you hadn't made that connection that the feeling of being controlled is triggering these things in you too. Like, I know I'm asking about the past, but this is still here because it's in your energy right now, right? So let's put these on top of your emotions so we can just keep coming back to that to remind you, because that's going to be the lesson here. Okay, so that's that thing that you're feeling as a missed opportunity. And it makes sense why that is making you feel overwhelmed, because missing out on the opportunity of an Ace of Coins, that's kind of serious. Like, that would be devastating emotionally. I'm not saying you'll never have that opportunity again, but I'm saying that emotionally, that's fucking rough. So, validating you there. But what is this Three of Cups in reverse? What is this Three of Cups in reverse? Which is clearly in your life right now. Hanged Man in reverse again. Again, friend. Something that makes you feel stuck, drowning in the mud. No matter how your childhood you tries to pull you from it. Stuck, way down. No progress. Resisting surrendering to that message. Resisting surrendering to the way things really are. Suppressing emotionally. That's what that Three of Cups in reverse situation is. We've got to get you to see that outside the box. Remove your emotional, personal feelings from whatever that is and see it as a product of delay, a product of resisting to see things clearly, right? I'm not trying to be harsh, but like, just going to give it to you the way it's coming out. Two more. Three of Cups upright. And High Priestess in reverse. So not only, and you would know this because look at your emotions, but not only is this thing really holding you back from the things in life that would genuinely let the river flow. Like, Hanged Man in reverse is about damming up a river for no fucking reason. Like, literally no reason other than to just not let the river flow for whatever reason. Like, not let sleeping dogs lie. Not let that tower come down. But on top of whoever that or whatever that Three of Cups in reverse is, which, again, repeating myself, I have personally dedicated to be a card of infidelity, card of cheating, card of betrayal. You also saw this coming. There were signs, and you completely fucking ignored them because you've got High Priestess in reverse. So you don't trust yourself. And the reason you don't trust yourself is because you have imposter syndrome, because you had a traumatic childhood. Because there are patterns in your life now that are mirroring intense moments and situations, echoing your past emotional traumatic cycles, and they need to be addressed, right? Because you need to believe that you deserve more. And until you genuinely believe you deserve more, this pattern will repeat. I'm not saying someone deserves to go through this over and over again, but this tells me that you could stop the cycle this time if you choose to believe in yourself. If you choose to see things with eyes unclouded by the rose-colored glasses and the suppression of emotion and the repression of it, all the stuff. This is really intense because then you've got Three of Cups upright. But this author, there's two cards in here that there's doubles of. And it's Three of Cups and 9 of Wands. Or 9. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. There's two of these. And when they are black and white, it's because the person's energy did not see this energy coming, right? So you thought that it was going to be something that could be celebrated and fun and like an easygoing. I see this card as of friendship. I want one more for that. Like maybe like a friendship turned to love, or maybe the Three of Cups in reverse in your life right now really is a friendship that betrayed you. The Hermit. So you're not seeing this as a test, because that's what that is. That's that spiritual journey. That is that hermit period, going within. So you wanted this to be a situation where you didn't do things alone, and this was always going to be a test to show you how to connect to yourself, be in that spiritual hibernation, that spiritual bubble, define your purpose, define your morals, connect to source, find your emperor within. Okay, hold on. Let's just see what your contract is saying about what's going on in your life right now. It's kind of heavy, especially if you're still in it. Okay. So where are you in your contract right now? The Wheel of Fortune. It's out of your hands, babe. It's out of your hands. 12, and 2. Lots of 2s. Duality. Trying to find inner peace in duality. Let's get 2 more. 1 more. Whoa. That's a huge chunk. I just want 1. Grounding. Yeah, I bet. This is where you are in your contract. Learning effective communication. And I think I called it right at the beginning. You're someone who suppresses. So people pleaser, not putting your needs at the top of your list, which they absolutely should be, and people really get stuck on this because it's a hard lesson to learn. But if your needs do not align with somebody else, like someone can't or won't meet your needs, right? That is a clear as day indication that you guys don't align. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make them a bad person, but it does mean that you guys don't align, right? So let's take it outside of romantic relationships. Let's say you get hired for a job and you tell them that you can only work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they literally sign you up for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't align, right? Your needs are your needs, their needs are their needs. They don't fucking align unless you want to work 1 day a week. That's not going to feed you. That's not going to protect you. That's not going to keep you safe. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Apply it to romantic and familial friendship relationships. If someone cannot meet you where you need to be met, you don't align. Hard lesson to learn because that means letting people go. And that means letting the river flow. But for this collective, that's clearly your issue because you're feeling controlled. You can't feel controlled if you don't let somebody else control you. And that's by standing up for what you want and what you need. It's required in order for you to move forward. But in order to do that, you need to know how to have effective communication. This card says being playful and fun and in tune with others, but I think you're too much of a people pleaser. No offense, but too much of a people pleaser to be worried about how fun things need to be. You just need to literally express yourself because 2 cards right next to each other of communication, being heard, amplifying your voice, speaking up and increasing your visibility, being bold and understanding when a major announcement is needed. Then you've got the wheel. That's fate, karma, destiny, cycles, getting what you deserve. It's literally out of your hands, what it says. Destiny and synchronicity, but your inner guidance system. So that high priestess in reverse, they're trying to turn it upright and show you that you've always known the answer to this problem. It's painful, sure. But whatever's going on, it doesn't align with your core values. It does not actually spark within you your inner path, and you would know that. So you'd probably be in a dead-end job too, because there's a reason I keep bringing up work, which, like, no offense, and I'm not saying this as like a judgmental thing, but if you have the ability to follow your actual path, which is what this card is telling me that you do, and you're not doing it, it's because you don't think that you can or should. You need to have confidence, have hope, but more than anything, find clarity in the situation you're in and ground. This card is about personal growth, past lives evolving, but your connection to source, and you got the Hermit. So whatever you're going through right now is clearly a test, but you're struggling between seeing it as the test that it is and swallowing the hard truths of understanding that it is just a test and to move on and fitting yourself in a box where you don't fit. For whatever time this, like the 100th time you've done this in your life. Like, don't you want to try it differently this time? You don't have to. These are your cards, not mine. So it's up to you at the end of the day. But if you don't want to be feeling controlled, you don't want to feel anxious and overwhelmed, you don't want to constantly be hit hard by your missed opportunities, you got to do it. You got to do it differently. You know what I mean? So what's this? Being heard, going public, whatever. That's what creates a new beginning for you, but only when you speak your wants and your needs. New beginning card over that. So sudden increase, being clever and resourceful. This is also a card about sex and procreation. So if that's something that you're trying to bring more of into your life, it is a card about that. But desire, like having desire, being a little timid about what you desire, it requires so much communication. So much of your throat chakra needs to be unblocked. We'll get this one last. But what's your inner guidance system trying to tell you right now? And the tree. What's trying to ground? The seeds! Look at that. Can't have a tree unless you plant those seeds. Small beginnings. So you think it's futile. You think you're planting seeds in a barren field to speak up for yourself. Couldn't be farther from the fucking truth. What is actually in your contract is learning how to plant seeds for the future. Learning that if you want something like this big, beautiful tree that will shade you, protect you, just follow the metaphor, you have to plant it. I mean, it's not very often that you see someone be able to plant a fully grown, mature, massive tree in their yard. Like, that's not how that works. You have to understand your growth potential here. But that, again, that comes from you seeing yourself and not having imposter syndrome. More than meets the eye. Also, this card says nutritious. So maybe you need to focus more on what you feel makes your body feel better. And that's totally dependent on the person. So there's not... Food is just food. It's not good or bad. It's nutritious or unnutritious, or it makes you feel good or it doesn't make you feel good, right? So just be conscious about the way you speak about food, because demonizing it can create some weird eating habits. Just feel the need to say that. But this inner guidance system, it's original. Snowflake energy. So you know that this is a delicate situation walking towards your goals, and you know it's going to take you being vulnerable. But this card is literally saying you're one of a kind. So you think you're an imposter, that your soul is saying you're not an imposter. You just don't see yourself in every single person you meet, because you are one of a kind. You are special. You are unique. You are not supposed to see your replica every single time you're going out. Stop trying to fit in that box that you don't fit in. I know it's like kind of ingrained into us at some point to want to like assimilate and not be seen and just hide behind things to keep us safe. But we're not herd animals. Like, we don't need to blend in. Blending in is actually how you suffocate the soul, for this collective at least. You need to handle yourself with care. You need to understand that this is a transient state. This is not a state of solid, like, you're not in the grounding yet. You got to plant the seeds for that. You should be more fluid when it comes to your path and having clarity. That's how you're going to get there, is actually seeing yourself as someone special. All right, so let's see what's out of your hands. This Wheel of Fortune. That's my favorite card. Wheel of Fortune. So some sort of enlightenment. So remember how I was saying something's just hit you out of nowhere? It's because it's coming from the divine. That enlightenment, that realization, the hit hard, the where is it? The stress, a lot to take on, the pressure, the feeling on edge and nervous, and like, this is all being sent from the divine. It's out of your hands, and it's meant to be the fire that really ignites your view on the world. You can't go back, right? I did a collective about this. I don't even know when. You might have identified with that or seen it, but it was like, you can't unawaken. Once you see things a certain way, you can't go back. And God, I wish you could, but you can't. That enlightenment, that whatever is being illuminated in your life is meant to remove obstacles. So really confirms what I was saying. This is meant to remove the obstacles in your life right now, if you let it. You dig your heels in, it's going to fucking suffocate you. I can promise you that. Being powerful and wise, but understanding that you've always been supported, that you just need to keep your wits about you, and you need to trust that removing these obstacles is the way to go. It's really nice. Oh, one sec. I feel like because you're really on this precipice of either continuously feeling controlled and anxious and overwhelmed, I kind of want to do like a what if with the cards, and we'll see what would happen if you just do nothing in the situation that you're in and just try to ride it out. And let's see what happens if you take some sort of action towards speaking your wants and your needs, right? So just see what happens. All right. So what happens if you do nothing? So what happens if you do nothing and you just don't speak your wants and needs, and you just suppress and let the clock run out on this. Let's just see what happens. One more. So, 3 of Wands in reverse. That's a lack of progress, delays, returning, a return to home. I always see this as having to like flee, like, tail between the legs from the lack of progress. But the stalls, Two of Cups in reverse. That's codependency. That's an unhealthy attachment, rescuing, enabling. 10 of Wands, severe overwhelm. Severe overwhelm. And isn't it interesting how when I was asking about whatever that missed opportunity was, it was a 10 of Wands in reverse sign. See that? Staying and doing whatever you're doing and continuing to do whatever you're doing and not speaking up for yourself and thinking that you're an imposter and not addressing your core wounds will actually lead to such severe overwhelm and burnout that's going to be collapse. This is the brink of collapse. Carrying all those wands, not letting anybody help you, and truly taking a couple steps, dropping everything. That's all your responsibilities, all your emotional energy, all of your and then having to pick them up back again, try to take a couple steps, and then dropping them again. Like, that's what's next if you do nothing. And again, it's going to be an enabling, codependent, toxic pairing. I'm sure that's harsh to hear me talk about whoever you're connected to, but like, these, again, have to double down. These are your cards, friend. They're not mine. I'm just trying to help you. 7 of Swords in reverse. So that is a confession. That is coming clean. That is a pricked consciousness. But 3 of Wands, that's a lack of progress and progression. I want to see how this will make you feel, because I have a feeling that if you weren't already aware of it now, and you choose to do nothing, it would become so glaringly obvious with this 7 of Wands, or 7 of Swords the reason I said that, 7 of Wands is conflict avoidance, but 7 of Swords in reverse, it's because I think it's going to be like one of those, like epiphanies that's just so not fun. Let's see how this is going to make you feel. If you were to choose to do nothing and not, whatever. Excluded from passion. I don't know why we would be focusing on passion, but excluded, shut out, left out, blocked, rejected, not a part of someone's life, and pushed out. Passion worries me. Why is that here? Hope. So all of the passion and the igniting and the fun and the rabbit energy, right? The new start to life, the new beginning, excluded. It's going to be all gone. That sucks, right? So like suppressing and letting the imposter syndrome rule our life and not feeling like we're good enough, probably not the best idea, right? Your choice. One last one for how this would make you feel. It would be a breakthrough either way. So that's not bad, but it's not, again, I don't think it's going to feel good. Feeling excluded, feeling abandoned, it's going to be a breakthrough either way. But again, I think it comes from that 7 of Swords. And I'm going to be real, I don't even think that's you. I think that's someone else saying, this doesn't work or whatever. I want one more for that 7 of Swords in reverse. Whoa. 4 of Pentacles upright. That is a creature of habit. That is coming from a place of lack. That's constantly being afraid that you don't have enough. That is genuinely not seeing things correctly. And then 10 of Pentacles in reverse. That is a break in a foundation with family and friends and long-term structures. So I think over time, if you just do nothing, it's going to make you see how you've missed out on so many other things other than whatever it is you feel like you're lacking right now, which is clearly freedom and whatever that missed opportunity is. So either way, it's going to lead you down the same road that you're on right now. It's just not going to feel as good. Will it be another type of breakthrough? Sure. But remember, I said I wanted to see what happens in both situations. So let's see what will happen if you choose to, after some contemplation, and maybe me bringing this to your attention, if you choose to speak your mind and stand up for what you really want and what you really need, what will happen? King of Coins upright. You really will. You really will be sitting in a place where you trust yourself, ride or die, loyal. You get to get 7 of Swords in reversed again. Look at that energy. So either way, this is what's destined to you. That pricked consciousness, this clarity. 9 of Coins in reverse. standing up for what you really want and what you really need. Understanding you've been working too hard for free and putting in too much time and effort in things that do not fucking pay off. Love that. And Two of Wands, a reassessment of the entire situation. This feels better. This feels like growth. The other one, again, you're going to get to where you're going. You're on some sort of path. But this one ends in you actually sitting in that beautiful ride or die energy, which is how you're seeing yourself now. So, just my opinion. I think that this is the way to go. Way to go. Again, your life. I want one more for this King of Coins. Yeah, strength. Oh, love that. Love that for you. Look at that. Didn't have strength in that other deck. Seeing yourself. This is a card of confidence. Literally a card of trusting yourself, believing in your power, having courage, determination. Oh, that's nice. How is it going to make you feel? Right? How is this going to make you feel? Gratitude. Oh, one of my favorites. Protective and friendly. Aren't those better than the other ones? Just saying, friend. I'm showing you what will happen. So what if, right? This card says keeping you safe, being careful, but responsibility, caring for welfare, guarding, preventing hurt. I think you start to feel protective over yourself and your dreams and what you want in life, but feeling friendly. No relationship, keeping things simple, working on yourself, and gratitude for yourself. Oh, that's nice. This friendly is kind of sticking out to me, though. What's this friendly? Warm, platonic, detachment. So maybe you're already in a place where you're like detaching from something, and if you make the choice to actually walk away from it, you actually do get that detachment that you really want or really need. And that's when you become more friendly towards something. But then what's this protective? Healing. That's fucking nice. Isn't this so much better? In a state of healing, regaining strength, downtime, self-care, and putting yourself first. Gosh, with gratitude, oh, friend, choose to speak your mind and walk away from things that don't serve you. You don't want to be controlled anymore. Do you know what I mean? Just saying, just saying. Okay. Let's see. Just super quickly, I want to see what moon cycle you're in right now. And then we'll get what comes next with tarot. So, what moon cycle are you in right now? Don't let pride get in the way. Don't let your ego and shadow get in the way. And you had strength come out. So this is the card of strength, right? And then what's this? Expect powerful change when you do that. So the cosmos are behind you to literally push you towards this energy. Either way, it's out of your hands, because you saw that with that Wheel of Fortune. How even if you choose to just stay, you're going to get that prick consciousness either way. Do you want to walk out of it with gratitude? Do you want to walk out of it with feeling excluded? Right? Let's see what comes next. Really, the work is this. It's the imposter syndrome and the abuse wound. That's the echoing of past emotional, physical, and verbal abuse that often creates deep mistrust and fear of being hurt again, may lead to overreacting, pushing others away, or feeling constantly on edge as your body stays alert for danger, right? So that's that. Which, again, core wound, that's what needs to be healed. Let's see what comes next for you. And if timing cards come out, they come out. So what comes next for this collective? I'm seeing that lunar eclipse card, because you got the eclipse card in the moon cycle. Let's see if it comes out. Well, that's okay. Well, it's a little odd because you've got walking away from things that you releasing what doesn't serve you. That's good. That's kind of what I want to see, right? But then you've got Two of Cups in reverse, which you had in the other deck of what if you just hold on. Then Two of Swords, 222. Remember, that's an important number for you. But unclear on the path, avoiding stalemate, obstacles, impasse with Nine of Swords, complete emotional anguish, lost hope, dark thoughts, anxiety, insomnia. And here's that Seven of Swords. It's following you around from deck to deck to deck. 3 times. It's come out now. And it's upright this time. Eve, quit moving my tripod. Sign. But cowardly, false pretenses, getting carried away with things, sneaky, betrayal, self-interest, cheating, lying in the mask. This is what comes next. I hope you're walking away from all of this. Let's confirm that. 8 of Cups. Like, typically I read them in like chronological order. So like this card would be what comes immediately next, and this would be how it ends. So that's why it's concerning why 8 of Cups is over here and not over here. Do you get what I'm saying? The Sun, so that internal optimism is what drives you to be supremely optimistic in your true authentic self. That's how you get to walk away. So maybe you do. Maybe you do finally see things and are just like, fuck all of this. That would be good. Let's get one more for each. What's this Two of Cups? The unhealthy attachment, the seeking approval and codependency and enabling and rescuing. You realizing it makes you sarcastic and cold and controlling. That control. So maybe you do start to realize it. That's really nice. What's this Two of Swords? 4 of Coins. These cards are following you around. That is a scarcity mindset and is what makes you feel unclear. So like not wanting to be alone, not wanting to just stand on your own 2 feet. You're going to start to realize that that's what makes you feel avoidant, withholding, and unclear of your path. Like, again, this is really good, but it just, this is a lot of math to get through. What's this Nine of Swords? 8 of Coins. So you're definitely going to be, okay, that's better. 8 and 8. You've got so many repeating numbers. You had 3s, 8s, and 2s, but dedicated to the craft of fixing your emotional turmoil. And I'm also hearing this too. You're going to realize that you were dedicated to things that just made you feel emotionally overwhelmed and had lost hope and gave you mental anguish. Whoa! Jeez. You're not going to believe it. This 3 of Wands. They're literally following you around. What's the Seven of Swords? That's the not what it seems. False pretenses and the lying and the Ace of Coins in reverse. Look at the way your cards are repeating. This is intense. But understanding that things that have always been, I really hope someone didn't cheat on you, but if someone did, that it was always an unstable situation. It was always a situation that you needed to put under review, that you shouldn't have, just let go of and powered through, that it was always something you should have been cautious around, that you needed to revise. 10 of Swords on the bottom. All right, one last one overall for outcome. Temperance, Angels, Balance. That's nice. The no timing cards came out. So first, I think this is what's got to happen. That's probably why there's no timing cards, because you've got to find your optimism, see yourself, right? See your true authentic self and walk away from the things that don't serve you. And that's when the rest of this, boom, starts to really prick your consciousness. Because truly, until we remove ourselves from a situation, we can't see it clearly, especially if we're like living with someone or like, a serious long-term romantic relationship and we're like constantly talking to them every single day, blah, 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 blah. Like, you cannot see things clearly until you remove yourself from a situation. And although that is painful and that is hard, it's genuinely necessary in order to, like, this, yuck. What are we doing, right? We want this. We want this. We want to walk towards powerful change. Last one. I mean, I know the Angels are over it, and that's a nice card to end on, but this, Temperance, Perfecting Balance. King of Wands just tried to come out. 10 of Coins in reverse. So that's going to be the linchpin. Something with your family or something with your long-term friends or something with your money. That's going to be that clicks everything into place. Family feuding, money concerns, financial gains or losses, married for money, contracts, bankruptcies, inheritances. I think that's going to be the final thing where you're just like, what am I even doing this for? Nothing is working. Sometimes it does take all areas of our life to fall apart before we make change. And that's okay, as long as you do see and recognize that change needs to be made, right? Angel is watching over you right now. Angel of intuition, that high priestess in reverse. You need to listen to your intuition, friend. It's been screaming at you for a long time. And intuition is not your emotion. It's just a knowing. It lasts for like a few seconds and then it's gone. So write it down when you get those intuitions. By the time emotion starts to kick in, that's how you know that it's your brain, right? That is your trauma. That is like, you have an intuition, I need to leave this situation. And then a few minutes later, you're like, oh, but what about this? And I don't want to be alone. No. It was the I need to leave, right? That's the intuition. Write it down so you can come back to it. But Claire Alliance, aromatherapy, calm emotion, gentle touch, patron of empaths and intuition. I send you waves of fragrant harmony and peace to calm your heart and clear your sentient channels to Creator. Selenite, June, peaceful resolution. So maybe June is when the ball starts to really roll here, but it says go forth, stick with your decisions. The choice you made is one you need to stick with. I don't think you've made a choice yet, but when you do make it, you need to stick with it. Wavering just delays the fulfillment of the bigger picture. Lie in meditation now with your hands on your solar plexus, right above the nape. Well, I mean, whatever. Solar plexus. And repeat this mantra a few times. I am confident. They're really trying to get you to access your confidence here. Be serious. 125. One more. 000. Brand new beginnings. I love seeing this one. I love seeing 000. I've always wanted to get a 000 tattoo. I just don't know where I'd put it. Universal abundance. The universe abundantly supports you. The force of love is around you. This number enhances all attributes of all other cards drawn today. So they're turning up the volume on everything I've said. I would be coming back to this. I'd be saving this one, right? And just replaying it maybe. Visualize the power of the universe flowing onto your being and envision your own creative forces amping up to meet it. Draw another card knowing that the next message will be amplified by this energy. Well, we already drew that one. So the go forth, amplified. You need to stick to the decisions that you've been making, right? Don't back down. Follow your gut. Good luck.